McDonald's will kill you. Here are 8 reasons why. Today's video was requested by Jeffrey Filler. If you have any other topics you'd like to learn about, subscribe and let us know in the comments section below. Number 8. Immortal food. In 1996, wellness educator and nutritionist Karen Hanrahan decided to keep a McDonald's burger uneaten to see how long it would last before going bad. The results, after 12 years, was astonishing. Aside from drying out a bit and having an odd smell, the burger looked nearly exactly the way it did when first bought. The experiment has famously been replicated by many other people using different foods from McDonald's, including French fries, chicken nuggets, and various burgers, all having the same results. The fact that McDonald's food remains visibly appetizing after years is not a good thing. It just shows how much they are laden with artificial preservatives that prevent the growth of bacteria and mold and keeps the food from oxidizing. These chemicals have detrimental effects on the human body, and many health experts agree that they should be legally banned from the food industry. In the following listings, we'll break down the components of several different food items at McDonald's and what happens when you eat them. Number 7. McRib Mania. The McRib is a famous season special of McDonald's that is generally made available for a short time each year in certain markets. Because of its impermanence, the tantalizing barbecue-flavored pork sandwich enjoys something of a cult following. Its popularity, however, is riddled with controversies involving questionable ingredients and animal cruelty. For starters, the rib patty in a McRib is not even a real rib. Rather, it is a boneless pork patty shaped like a rib, combined and restructured from the cast-offs and cheapest innards of a pig. And among the 70 ingredients that go into the barbecue pork sandwich is azodicarbonamide, a flour bleaching agent most commonly used to make gym mats and the soles of shoes. In certain countries, the compound is banned as a food additive and is classified as a potential contributor to asthma. In 2011, a complaint had been filed against the McRib meat producer in the US for cruel treatment of animals. Lacking proper animal welfare, the meat processing company had allegedly been using gestation crates and breeding pigs in unsanitary conditions. Somehow, McRib lovers have been able to ignore all these facts without the sandwich appearing any less appetizing to them. Number 6. The McNuggets. Chicken McNuggets have now become as popular as the Big Mac or any other burgers available at McDonald's. Over the years, a variety of dipping sauces has been added to make these deep-fried chunks of chicken meat appealing to anyone. Some might think that these chicken nuggets have a healthy advantage over red meat, which has a higher amount of saturated fat. But a close look at what they are made of might make you think otherwise. White boneless chicken meat is supposed to be almost pure protein, but studies have shown that McNuggets are 57% fat, meaning various other ingredients are added to the batter. They contain tertiary butyl hydroquinone, TBHQ, a powerful petroleum-based preservative normally found in cosmetic products like eyeshadows. TBHQ helps McNuggets maintain their shape, but are toxic when consumed in high amounts. Possible side effects include nausea, vomiting, and buzzing in the ears. Another chemical additive present in McNuggets is sodium aluminium phosphate. Aluminium, the very same silvery metallic element lining your oven rack, acts as a leavening agent for the breaded parts of McNuggets. Several studies have shown that there is possibly a link between sodium aluminium phosphate and the onset of Alzheimer's disease. Furthermore, high levels of phosphate increase the risk of heart disease and exacerbates the symptoms of those with renal disease. Number 5. The French fries. French fries serve as an irresistible side dish and are usually the first thing from a McDonald's meal that people put into their mouths. While no one imagines these deep-fried pieces of potatoes as healthy food, a further breakdown would show how detrimental to health they really are. McDonald's French fries contain a lot of sugar in the form of dextrose, which sounds unusual for a food that tastes salty instead of sweet. Consuming too much dextrose leads to extra storage of unwanted fat. Fuel storage in the form of fat used to be a necessary function obtained through human evolution, as our ancestors did not know when the next meal would be available. But in this modern age, where food is abundant, fat storage only results in accumulation of unwanted pounds. Dextrose from McDonald's French fries also causes spikes in blood sugar levels, which is particularly dangerous for those suffering diabetes. In the case of non-diabetic people, the pancreas would overexert itself to produce insulin, resulting in low blood sugar level. Symptoms include fatigue, shaking, sweating, and a rapid heartbeat. In short, too much dextrose causes both hyper and hypoglycemia. In addition to that, the cooking oil used to make McDonald's French fries is added with an anti-foaming agent known as dimethylpolysiloxane, PDMS. PDMS is another term for silicone, the non-biodegradable polymer found in cosmetics, silly putty, and breast implants. Number 4. Chemical buns. Everyone knows that bread is best eaten fresh out of the oven, and that it quickly goes bad when not eaten fast enough. Because of its high water weight and trace elements like wheat, eggs, and yeast, bread is a good breeding ground for scavengers like mold. Yet McDonald's buns miraculously remain free of mold, not just for weeks or months, but for years. A quick look at what these buns are made of will reveal the secrets of its longevity. Instead of just the basic ingredients used to make bread in regular stores and bakeries, these buns contain a list of chemicals that read very much like a scientific journal. One of the ingredients is calcium sulfate, the compound used to make wall plaster and orthopedic casts. When ingested, this chemical can cause digestive problems and stomachache. There is also ammonium sulfate, known to cause gastrointestinal irritation, leading up to nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. The buns also contain high levels of fructose corn syrup and sodium, which makes your body crave more of the food. With nearly 1,000 milligrams of sodium, the body becomes dehydrated, coupled with low blood glucose levels. As a response to overproduction of insulin, the body falsely feels hungry and craves more and more food. If you're looking to satiate your hunger, McDonald's is not the place to go. Most people assume the worst part of a McDonald's burger is the meat patty, but we can now assume that the buns are equally as harmful. In fact, we could say that McDonald's buns are actually bread-like concoctions that bear very little resemblance to real bread apart from its visual appearance. Number 3. Ridiculous weight gain. In 2004, independent American filmmaker Morgan Spurlock released Super Size Me, a documentary film about the fast food industry. The film follows Spurlock's 30-day experiment of eating nothing but McDonald's food and how it affected him physically and psychologically. As a result, the then 32-year-old man gained 24 pounds, or 11.1 kilograms, increased his cholesterol to an unhealthy 230 milligrams per deciliter, and accumulated high levels of fat in his liver. It took Spurlock over a year to lose the weight he gained from his 1-month experiment. Of course, it is already common knowledge that fast food unhealthily contributes to weight gain, but Spurlock's experiment showed how serious it really is. Apart from the rapid increase in weight, the high levels of cholesterol and fatty acids puts a lot of stress and damage on the liver, heart, and other organs. Most, if not all, of McDonald's burgers have unusual levels of trans fat, a type of unsaturated fat that is bad for the body in so many ways. It increases the level of bad cholesterol level, lowers the level of good cholesterol, increases the risk of developing heart disease and stroke, and is associated with type 2 diabetes. A single Big Mac contains 1.5 grams of trans fat, mainly as a byproduct of partial hydrogenation during the processing of the patty. From eating that one burger alone, it would take about 50 days to fully digest all of its trans fat. Number 2. Exploiting children. The most disturbing thing about the weight gain and obesity problems caused by McDonald's is that the victims tend to be children, the most exploitable and vulnerable group of people out there. For over 30 years, McDonald's has included children's Happy Meals accompanied with toys. And throughout that time, the rate of obesity in children has steadily increased. In the United States, the number of obese children and teenagers has nearly quadrupled since the early 80s. While it has been shown that the lifespan of humans are increasing due to better quality of life and advanced medicine, a new report shows that that is not the case in communities where childhood obesity is prevalent. Obese people die much earlier and suffer an endless list of medical conditions such as fatty liver, myocardial infarction, stroke, diabetes, cancer, and arthritis. Yet McDonald's makes a lot of effort in marketing towards the younger age group. A standard Happy Meal contains over 500 kilocalories, 20 grams of fat, and a whopping 880 milligrams of sodium. Parents who regularly feed their family with this high-fat, high-sodium, and low-nutrition food are doing a big disfavor to their children. In the early 2000s, a group of obese teenage girls tried suing McDonald's for being responsible in causing their health problems. The controversial lawsuit, known as Pelham versus McDonald's Corp., eventually failed as it was denied class action status. Subsequently, many states legislated not to allow people to take liability actions against the fast food industry. Number 1. Pink slime. British celebrity chef Jamie Oliver is known as a strong advocate of healthy eating, and for years he has been trying to tell the public about how terrible McDonald's food really is. In his show, Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution, he talked about how food processing companies in the US mix leftover meat trimmings to make fillings for McDonald's patties and nuggets. Labeling the meat as pink slime, Jamie was shocked when he discovered that ammonium hydroxide was being added to the mix. In his own words, he said that meat at the cheapest form, normally given to dogs, was being fed to humans. Jamie even recreated the goo on his show by throwing the leftover parts of a chicken carcass into a food processor to make nuggets. Kids in the UK who witnessed the experiment refused to eat the nuggets, while American kids had no problem eating them since they looked exactly like the ones served at McDonald's. Calls for the ammonium hydroxide agent and pink slime process to be banned were made, and after months of Jamie campaigning on his TV show, McDonald's decided to abandon the practice. The fast food company stated that the decision was already made prior to Jamie's expose, which is a bit too much of a coincidence to be true. This makes us wonder what other dirty secrets still remain uncovered behind those golden arches.
He is one of the few remaining members of the Medellin cartel, surrendered himself to the justice system, and he was released in August of 2014. We're gonna have him take us around to the different spots around Medellin